Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank Christ it's Friday, man. God. We made it. Yeah, it's been a long week. We are here for the Cannoli Connection. So we got the new format happening where we're on every other week, which has been very nice. But this is episode 5 with me and MrsCannoliSasquatch doing this. And so the new format is just bring cool people on, talk to the guests, get to know them. And we have a good one today. A fellow Canadian, Vex, if you're watching, because I know I see you in the chat, and then gamer, pop culture connoisseur, hates the woke stuff. So I love this guy already.
100%.
Love his videos. His description, his information is in the description. So please go subscribe to his channel. Check him out on Twitter. Gamergeek, thank you for joining the show, dude. Thank you very much.
No problem, man. No problem at all.
Hey, I love that. I love the A's. I get those from Vex like randomly, and I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? And then we found out.
A means everything. A.
Yeah,
I want him to keep saying he's sorry.
No, I'm not like that. No.
Okay. All right.
No, I will say A lot. And the funny story behind that is that when I was living with my brother, his girlfriend used to get so annoyed at people saying A all the time. So I just started saying just to annoy her. And then all of a sudden it became like this thing that's in my vocabulary now. So me being an a-hole, it kind of screwed me over at the end.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love the accent. And I caught it first when I started watching your videos, which, by the way, his YouTube channel is doing great. I remember when I first caught you, you were still trying to hit that 1,000, and then, man, you just took off. And then, well deserved. He puts a lot of effort into his stuff, and he's passionate about his topics, especially recently going after Saints Row, which is a shit show we'll get into a little bit later. But let's address the chat real quick, see who's in here. So I know Fridays are a little crazy. So, of course, we have Vex Electronica. Always a fellow Canadian Monday co-host with me. Thank you for joining the show. R2, the Icky. I don't blame you for unsubscribing.
No, it's because you were running late. This was a follow-up to that thing she unsubbed because you're always late.
What else is new with us? Then we have the little baby Cannoli Sasquatch. Well, she's not a baby anymore, but she's a very tall teenager, which scares the hell out of me. And we have... Yeah, no kidding. Mama Cannoli's in the house. Hello. Thank you for joining. And then Love It Lytical. Love it. Thank you for joining, of course. And it's pretty weird.
You didn't get somebody else. Hold on a second.
Hold up. Address the message, please. What message?
Uh-oh. Someone's in trouble.
Address this message. Who did I leave out?
Oh, no, you didn't, but I'm going to do this. In the meantime, you missed Mrs. R2. She's saying hello.
Oh, I am so sorry.
No, that's not what she's saying. I'm not sure the message she's talking about.
Well, hello, Mrs. R2 anyway. Yeah. That is very true, but we can't say that because what is a woman these days? I don't know. Bud Light doesn't know.
No, but definitely not.
But apparently I can't.
Okay, this might be in parts, so we should wait. A dramatic pause.
What are we waiting for?
I don't know. We'll see.
Vex,
we'll see.
I recommend.
I have all night for her.
She did. I will say yes. Vex did recommend. Fellow Canadian. He was because of the subject matter he talks about, because very similar to us. He's into gaming. Yes. So appreciate you. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
We appreciate you, Vex. Jeez, my manager.
100%.
Her and Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch are my managers because I'm a man and I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to plan anything. So
no, I'm like that too, man. I'm like that too.
So getting to know you, Mr. Gamer Geek. So let's talk about basically what made you want to get into the content creating thing. Did you want to do it the way you're doing it now? Is this the plan, or did you have a different vision? It just turned into what you're doing now.
So, excuse me. When I started on YouTube, this was sort of the plan all along. I started, I was kind of inspired by the Geeks and Gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went ahead and I obviously had these opinions about game and that I never even knew existed. Mm-hmm. And then I seen a video that the Daily Wire ended up posting about with Ryan Kindle was in it and Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how wokeness is just pretty much destroying the gaming industry. And since I watched that video, it seemed like a whole new section of YouTube just opened up to me. And I was like, holy crap, other people like I do. Yeah, and that's what pretty much got me started on my channel.
Yeah, I would say that's probably what got me wanting to do this too. Is that I remember say it was about maybe a little over maybe 2 years ago, where the first time they did an Orlando meetup where they rented their game house. And I've been following a lot of these guys for a long time before that, but just seeing them together in a content house bullshitting and having fun, and I don't know, it just seemed like the atmosphere was very fun and chill. And I was like, man, I would love to do this with a group of YouTubers that I just get to know and become close with. And it's like, and then I'm like, why am I not doing stuff like this on YouTube? Because I have opinions. Mrs. Cannoli can tell you, I like to give opinions, very passionate sometimes and opinionated. And she's like, stop talking to me and yelling at me.
Just shut up.
Yeah, like, and you hear that a lot about a lot of origin stories. It's just like, just get on. And I was hesitant. I should have did it when COVID started. I was very hesitant because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this. The typical story. I was like, I don't have any confidence. And I was just like, she's like, one day she's like, just stop talking about it. Buy the equipment, get the microphone, shut up and do it already. And it was the push I needed. And then July of last year was the first just whatever show. And then we've kind of evolved, but yeah, here we are. It's seriously out. Well, what is Vex talking about?
I put this one first. I was just trying to keep up with the comments.
Oh yeah, good idea. Thank you. So yeah, it definitely culminated into something that I didn't expect. And then I have a Monday movie show with Vex and Copa and White Bear. We just review movies, bullshit. And then Friday was the show where we would have the pop culture talks. And then I just, like I told you before the show, it culminated into just let's have a conversation. And then so how do you find, so I know you don't do live stuff, it's just all pre-recorded content for right now?
I tried doing some live streaming, like for video games and that, Hogwarts Legacy, but I was running into a bunch of problems with OBS. I mean, I was like, it's not worth the headache at this point, right? I'm just
yeah, I can understand that. I didn't initially wanted to do too much. I didn't want to do too much just game streaming because YouTube's algorithms are weird and what I was talking about and then what I was going to do games. So there's a couple of gaming videos up. Like I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 for a while and then a couple other things. Now I'm going to probably start with something. I even toyed about starting another channel just for game streams. I like doing the live conversation talks between back and forth. I find it's kind of my strength. I do not like doing pre-recorded stuff. First it was the editing time that was a pain with working full time, being a dad, and it's just wow. And then I don't know how you people do it, but it's a lot of work. But I know the effort you put into it, the quality. That's how you get the quality out of it. And your videos are great.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're very interesting. They're always keep me on the tip of my toe, and I laugh some of the stuff that comes out, especially today with the Saints Row stuff. What is that process like for you? Like, do you get in just the idea, and do you have a script, or do you just kind of put it in the camera, boom, you do it, and then edit it later?
Well, it's sort of both. Like, I'll have talking points that I'll want to go over. And I'll kind of rehearse those talking points because if I don't, I talk usually way too fast to get my words mixed up and I sound like a complete half an hour retard, as I call myself. But yeah, but that's what it is. It's kind of half and half, right? Like I'll get some talking points in my head, go over those talking points, and then I'll just turn on the video and see what happens.
Yeah, that's my problem. When I started trying to do pre-recorded stuff just on any subject, I would just stare at the camera and I'm like, oh God, what do I do? I sounded very robotic and it wasn't fluid at all. So when I started doing the live streaming, it just for some reason came very natural. I was like, this is weird that I can do it this way, which is to me scarier because you're in front of a group of people live. Like you're putting yourself out there. At least I could edit with a pre-recorded video.
Yeah. But if you mess up here, it's good. And you're like, it's
we have a question coming in hot.
I asked Gamer if he was a Mario Lemieux or Gretzky fan.
Oh, yes, I seen that. I actually do not watch hockey.
Wow, Vex doesn't either. That's two Canadians that don't like hockey. Do you watch any sports or is it just you don't like hockey? See, man after my own heart. Baseball fan. So who's the team? I was going to say the Toronto Blue Jays had to be. That's awesome. Yeah, so now I have a fellow person I can talk baseball with because not many people I know that are baseball fans. Yeah, so that's awesome. We could reminisce about the '93 World Series, Joe Carter, and then
before I was even born.
Exactly. Yeah, how are they doing this year anyway? The Blue Jays.
We have another question coming in hot.
Oh Jesus. Oh, yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Yeah, he confused
East
me
Coast
today.
accent.
Yeah, he threw me off because he's like, "What time is the show?" And I'm like, "Well, he's on East Coast time, right?" Then he's like, "No, he's giving me these like weird time zones," and I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy's like at the edge of the universe in Canada." So
Surrounded by all ocean.
Vex said she just knew it.
of course, well, these Canadians they have a thing. Hey, Zach.
It's like a mental thing.
Hi, Zach.
It is. It's like a telepathy almost. You just know.
You got to be Canadian to understand it.
I think you're right.
No, not a newfie. No, don't even say that.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
No.
Subtle Deviance. He says he would watch the Expos all the time. Hey man, I think I hear a lot of rumors that they're going to bring the Expos back to Montreal, which would be very interesting.
Yeah, that's been a thing for a couple of years, haven't it? They've been saying that.
They've been saying Tennessee, I think, somewhere, Nashville, maybe, and then another one in Montreal, which would be Zax is a fellow Canadian too.
Oh, that's right.
We're being overtaken by the North. A lot of maple syrup.
I've never known so many Canadians in my life. This is awesome.
Jesus. So
no, I'm being serious. I really haven't. I mean, that's quite a bit.
Well, that's a good thing about doing this stuff, right? Is connecting.
That's my point. Yeah. The connecting with different people around the country, around the world. It's pretty amazing. Most people I know or follow are in different parts of the country or world, but it's like, oh God, thanks, Copa. I agree. I'm feeling free.
Unsubbed, click.
Unsubbed. Get out of there.
Well, Beard's gonna help level it out. There you go.
Oh, good. See, I got family in Texas. I got So it's like we're in Canada. Conservatives are blue and liberals are red. Is that true?
Yes.
Is that how it is? Is it backwards there?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Canada does everything weird, man. But no, so Canada's in this weird space, right? Because with Vex being from Canada, we get a lot of the insight from her point of view. But having a new person on, what is happening to your country, man? The politics, and it's just a weird place. And it always had this reputation of being friendly and just beautiful, which still is beautiful.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, that's
simplest answer. The past 8 years or so underneath him,
mm-hmm.
that's when you've been seeing the decline, man. With all the stuff going on, how he's treating voters and.
Yeah, I know the whole the supposed links to him and the communism. It's basically turned. I don't know. I feel really bad for you people up there, especially during
you people.
You people.
You know what? There's been some comments in the chat. You keep saying you people, and some of our people are getting offended, and they're not even from Canada.
I'm racist against everybody and Canadians. Prejudice against everybody. No, it's stop all Vex, please. What are you going to do about it anyway? Just kidding.
Listen, she'll be in the States next month. She could come over here and kick your ass.
Yeah. Good luck driving out this way. It's hot out. It's hot out here that time of year. You don't want to be here.
I'll bring them halfway so she can kick your ass in the middle somewhere.
So Trudeau, and then I know, we were talking with Vex the other day about the whole trucker convoy thing and all that shit that happened with that and So how long have you've lived in Canada your whole life, obviously, right? You've been there forever.
Military brat.
So if you could pinpoint, how long has Trudeau been in power there now?
I think it's like around 8 years. This is the second time he's been elected, but they did an early election when he got back in. So
how does it work in Canada with the elections? Like, how many times can you be elected in? Is it different than America, or is it the same where you have a certain amount of years and you're out?
So I'm not sure how many times you can be elected in, but you don't actually vote for the prime minister. Instead, you vote for people that are in their party.
Okay.
And then like Justin Trudeau, he's the head of the Liberal Party. So since the Liberal Party won more seats than the Conservatives, Justin Trudeau was the prime minister.
Oh, good. That works out nice.
Yeah.
So, as a Canadian seeing what's happening, have you ever had an inkling or a thought like maybe it's time to leave Canada, or are you like
all the time?
Yeah.
The only thing is that I'm very family oriented. I'm a big family guy, right? So
I hear you. Yeah, it's tough to just uproot your family. Like your parents, probably, I'm assuming, are there, and then. So, if you had to leave, though, where would you go? Like, would you have a state that you would like? Okay, that's where I'm going if I do leave Canada.
Yeah, summer's hot and sunny because I have depression, and usually the darkness really screws around with it. So I want to go summers that's not cold and that it's just sunshine
all the time. So it'd be Florida, number one, probably, right? Or yeah, you're always welcome to come out here. I'm in Arizona. There's never a cloud in the sky. I think we get 320 plus days of sunshine. And
oh man, that sounds awesome.
You just have to put up with the extreme summers here. So you have about like 5 months of really, really extreme heat, but then the rest of the year is really nice.
Oh, it's better than the cold, man.
But Florida's the place, I guess, to go because everybody's moving to Florida because of DeSantis.
Yes, I see that. That's one of the reasons why if I went to move anywhere, it would be there.
I think it would be there. You have beaches, you got warm. Yeah.
You have a request, sir?
Oh, you want me to say from the Die Hard? Shoot the glass. I love that movie so much. So, okay, so you got this gaming sphere that I know that's most of what your videos are about. I know on social media though you're pretty opinionated on some of the other stuff. So do you do you have any aspirations to do anything else on YouTube, like create another channel just talking politics, or maybe just doing live streams talking about everything that's happening? Or are you just kind of like, nah, I'm gonna stick to this?
I don't really know right now. I was thinking about doing kind of a lore channel like my Inner Geek, but then I did one video and I realized that holy shit, that was a lot of work to do. Like it took like 3 hours of editing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't think right now I don't have the time for it, right?
I understand that.
But I wouldn't mind doing more podcasts than that. I know I'm going to be on Words of Paradise's podcast, I think, on his next one in that. So doing stuff like that's something that I'd be more interested in doing, right?
Yeah, I like the collaborating a lot. I think it helps not only for channel growth, not that that's the most important thing, but just to get to know people.
Exactly, it's just the fun.
Coming in hot.
Yeah.
What do I do for work? I actually ran a pizzeria during the summer. I'm a seasonal worker.
Wow, pizza, my favorite.
Yeah.
Because the guy loves games, he likes baseball, and he makes pizzas.
And he likes puppies because I see his doggy in the back. I'm a big animal lover, so I've been scoping out your dog.
I got 3 dogs, and my parents got 3. I got 5 chickens, and I got 3 goats.
Wow.
Oh, I love all that.
Yeah.
I'm a big animal lover, so I love all that.
So when you were saying about when you're saying about the weather there, so what is it like? Like, what are the summers and winters like? Is the winters like just dark for longer periods, or
how
does it work there?
Yeah, so the winters, like it's dark, right? Like it gets dark, I think at like 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the winter, and it just really sucks. And then it can get really cold. Like where I live in a kind of 6666666.
Yeah, you don't want to. Now Trudeau has that thing.
This chat is cracking me up. I don't understand what that is.
You don't.
Please pass the peyote.
Please pass the peyote. He wants me to do the Alan Rickman voice. That's all.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. This chat's cracking me up.
Sorry, Gamergeek. My chats are a bunch of immature children. I love them.
Oh, I can tell.
We love them though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it gets it can where I live at, it's a really weird part because we can get a blizzard and then 15 minutes down the road from us, complete sunshine.
Interesting.
So wait, are you in the part of Canada? I'm sorry if I missed it, where it's dark for days on end?
No.
Okay.
No, that's like
that's like I think that's up in like Nunavut and that, like Northwest Territories.
Okay.
So that's like on like the completely different end from where I'm at.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, these fucking comments. Oh my god!
I'm telling you, these comments are hysterical. Even Love says it. You know what?
The chat is on fire tonight. It's the Canadians in the chat.
Oh wait,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
What is this?
What did you all see? The pizza delivery man that stopped a guy running from the police, kicks the feet out from under the guy. No.
Oh, maybe it was alluding to how he works for a pizza place in the city.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of where Santa lives. My apologies. Oh, that's right. Those damn elves. God.
We have another question coming in hot. I'm not really sure if I know.
Does Gamergeek know what's buried on Oak Island?
Nothing.
It's all a myth?
That's what I think. I'm kind of pissed off at the TV show. Because I went ahead and when I was younger, where I used to live at, I was only maybe like an hour away from there. And for a field trip, we went there for all this digging and all the TV show got there.
Mm-hmm.
On the island, it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And now it's...
Yeah. What the fuck? What does this mean?
What the fuck's
what are the peelers? I don't understand. Is that a Canadian thing? I don't know. No idea what that means.
Maybe that's
have
like
you had,
that West thing?
Have you had a chance to visit the Titanic yet?
Titanic Museum.
Oh,
up in Halifax there, and then there's also the Titanic graveyard up there.
Wow, that would be interesting.
It is. It was the last time I went up there, I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But all the graves in that, they're in the shape of the bow.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Look, Cannoli, you got a compliment.
Oh yeah, we changed the design. Yeah, we added some flair.
Cannoli told me to put them there, so I had to add some flair. Yeah,
add some like an office space. We added flair to our graphics.
Oh, wait, sorry, we have a clarification.
Oh, so peelers equals the strip club. Why you ask a family man that? Come on, he's a nice Canadian boy.
Yeah, no, Coast Newfoundland.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Well, I guess you can say Nova Scotia because it's just a stone's throw array, but it's usually for Newfoundland. The course Newfoundland is where it's at.
See? Lesson in geography for everybody. See what we do? We educate. We talk about pop culture. Yeah. So Canada's kind of a mess. So I guess is there any hope for people in Canada? Vex is in Canada. I think she's leaving soon though. She's going to Florida.
Willing.
So it's like, do you sit there and go, man, it's something has to change, or is it like she says, people are just set in their ways, and then you're just, oh my god.
I see lots of mooses mooses. I see lots of moose, but I never seen one throw itself out.
What is that called? The maid? What is it? Canada's got maid service, right? Is that the new thing where you can assisted? Is that what the moose are doing?
Yeah,
is that what the moose are doing? They're like, fuck that service. We're just gonna jump off. Hey, Jeffrey King, thank you for dropping by, buddy. Yeah. So do you like sit there and go, there is no hope? Like I have to live with this, or this isn't where I park. Do you see like a change coming eventually?
I do if Trudeau gets out.
Yeah.
Like this isn't even me coming from a point where I don't like the liberal ideology, but this is me coming from a point where literally what Trudeau has done has pretty much sent Canada down the toilet right now. And it's going to take years and years for Canada to recover, but that's only if we get someone in there right now that's not even Trudeau.
That sounds like Biden.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well, yeah. I always say I don't know who's worse, Trudeau or Biden.
I would only say Trudeau only because the government seems like they have more. I mean, I don't understand. It's a little different, but they have more power in Canada. Where here, at least the House of Representatives is conservative, and there's a liberal president, there's a liberal Senate, but the House can basically just block everything they do. So, did you buy Fred Dursley's outfit from eBay? Who's Fred Dursley? I don't know these people.
Me neither.
Wait, Vex has a good one here. There's no saving Canada.
You don't know how to say that word.
I don't know how to say that word. Polar bear. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Has shown himself to be a clown.
I knew he was right. Fred Durst. That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Fred
thanks for joining us on YouTube. Yeah, we are live on Rumble because I will not do a YouTube stream ever again without simulcasting to Rumble because I do not trust YouTube.
Oh no, especially with everything, right? Like
there's a lot of weird stuff going on, especially this last week. News coming out, so. If God forbid we get cut off here, we are still on Rumble Live. So don't worry about it.
We're good, yeah.
We're good. Limp Bizkit. Leader of the Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, Fred Durst.
Oh, okay, he said Fred Dursley.
Spell check. His spell check.
R2, you can't be my mod if you can't spell correctly. Jesus. Yeah, so I kind of agree here. We're kind of in the same boat here in America. I see us going around a very dark path that I never thought I would have seen in my lifetime. Everybody's hoping for the 2024, and then whoever wants to vote for a certain orange person that I can't say on YouTube before I get kicked off. But it's like I don't even know. To me, it's just that both sides of the political spectrum are just two sides of the same coin. So I just don't see an escape.
Yeah, they're both crap. That's what it is.
Yeah. They're both shit.
You have to get someone who's independent in.
Yeah, and that's the problem, though. Yeah, I agree. You need somebody fresh and independent, or somebody. But the problem is they just don't hold enough power. They don't have enough money to campaign. They always get pushed to the side. It's really sad because we're at a point now. You see what you see on social media, us complaining about. I never thought I would have seen, and it's like even today with the whole this Mulvaney guy and. What happened in Canada today with the fucking government walk? I mean, oh my god!
You need to watch. You need to watch what you say.
Cannoli. I'm on Rumble.
No, because there was the whole thing that came out on YouTube today of what you can and can't say about Mulvaney and how you can say it.
Well,
no way.
Yeah, I didn't say specific.
You said.
I want to show this because I want to show you.
Can we get an answer to this question real quick? I'm curious now.
How much poutine can you stack until it's higher than meatball? Well, Filipino meatball is like 4'2", so a lot. Not a lot. You don't need a lot. No. Well, I got to show this video though because this happened in your home country.
I'm so angry.
So certain politicians were walking around in high heels.
I just want to say this: not all of us Canadians are this stupid.
That is true. Vex said that too.
Yes,
I know. I'm friends with Vex. I
don't think there's sound in the actual video anyway. But look at this. Like, it's to fight domestic abuse, and I'm like, how does this fight domestic abuse?
It's insulting.
They're wearing pink high heels, walking around thinking they're doing something admirable, and it's actually embarrassing. And they got a lot of shit for this on Twitter today and just on social media in general. But if I'm a woman and see my or anybody seeing my politicians do this, it would enrage me. So like you see this as a fellow Canadian, and Vex was infuriated today. Like, what do you think? You think like, how worse can this get?
Next thing, they're going to be wearing dresses.
Oh, that's coming.
They're going to be like, oh, hey, look, we're fighting domestic violence by wearing dresses. We're not actually doing our job. Look at us. We support you guys.
Right.
But the real question is that what are they actually doing other than showing this off to stop domestic violence?
It's placating. It's all bullshit. Even Vex says it here. Fights abuse by giving liberal men a reason to abuse women.
You know what also I find rude? And I told this to Hora Amarada today on Twitter. I find it rude that they think they just assume all women wear high heels. We don't. Not all of us do. I'm sorry. There should have been some men in flip-flops and some Q's espadrilles and all that stuff. But no, not every woman wears high heels. So let's just...
I live in the country. Almost no woman around here wears high heels.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. You know what? Right. Not only was that stupid, but we were misrepresented again.
Oh wait, hold on here. I have the video. I'm gonna see if I can play this of the thing Jacob Ironside was talking about with the pizza delivery guy. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Let me see.
Oh, that's a high-speed chase. That's a high-speed chase.
The guy's like, fuck the pizza. I'm gonna go save somebody. He's a hero.
Oh my God, Jaeger! Oh my God, Jaeger! There's a high-speed chase.
What is she screaming about?
Right?
No.
Think fast, buddy.
That was quick. That was awesome. Thank you, Jacob Ironside, for the video. That was pretty badass.
That was
not gonna lie.
Hopefully, you got a good tip.
Yeah, no kidding, right? The lady inside's like, my guys, and this guy's like, no, I got this. Yeah, I need a hero music. Yeah. It's something simple. He just sticks his leg out and the guy trips over him and they saved. And the lady still gets her pizza and a show. So, what is it? What about males like cannoli that get browbeaten by me? Yeah, I get beat. The women that I in my life and in my streams, they just like to abuse me. Apparently,
oh man,
Vex verbally attacks me in on our shows, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Hashtag me too, right?
Hashtag me too. Cannoli's lives matter.
Hashtag quit your fucking whining, bro.
See?
The abuse.
You see what I mean?
Yeah,
you see what I got to deal with?
I am so abusive. While he worked all day, I ran to 3 different grocery stores to make sure we had everything we needed for the next week.
Hold on, though. You hear that? While I worked all day.
Right, but I already worked this week. Today was my day off.
Keyword, worked all day.
Yeah, my day off. What do you do
now,
on your day off?
I did work from home.
But what do you do on your day off?
I try to catch up on other things that don't involve cleaning the house. I bond with my daughter.
And do I say anything?
Play a lot of Mario Kart, and she likes to play Fortnite, unfortunately. But I do it with her because she likes it.
Bex. We have to stick together.
Yeah, thanks for shouting out GamerGeek's channel. Again, subscribe.
Yeah, I'm a terrible moderator. Thank you, R2.
No, R2's doing his job. Hey, Steven's in the chat. Steven joining. Thank you, Steven Ransom. Yeah, currently works from home, but he puts a sus amount of pre-record. Wow.
I'm gonna blow his cover, and hopefully Stovepipe isn't watching. So I come downstairs today, and I'm trying to have a conversation with him, and I hear, and I'm like, and he's like this. I go, I saw you playing your Nintendo Switch. Knock this shit off.
It was the last half hour of the day. So what the problem
matter. I don't do that at my office.
The phones for work were slow. And I was playing Metroid Prime, and I got caught. Let me tell you
something. His boss gave him a third monitor just so he could watch YouTube when he.
He's a great boss. I will say, I love my boss. He's not only one of my best friends, but he makes me work from home. He pays me well, and I have a monitor just for like entertainment shit. Wow.
Subtle cracks me up.
It was only listen. It was a Friday and it was slow. Jesus, I have a guest to talk to. God damn it!
Get off his back.
Yeah. So getting into just real quick. I know Miss Cannoli, she doesn't know much about the gaming community, but she follows what I play. She's more interested in me watching me play the older games, the retro, because that's what she grew up with. Yeah. So I know you were saying how before, like you didn't play, like you right. So what are you playing now? Well, are you playing anything specific, or are you just kind of like, are you like me, who you have like ADHD and you just like playing 18 different games at one time?
So I have a bunch of my backlog, but right now I'm playing Saints Row 2, and that is for a video I hope to get uploaded this weekend.
Oh my god, that game is a goddamn mess. Well, the newer one's a mess.
Yeah, no, Saints Row 2, that's the best in the series.
It's a good game.
Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
The new one, that's yeah.
That they came out today, and if you watch his newest video, go check it out after the stream. He was just ripping into them because they're coming out. Of course, the game is a mess when it came out of development. It was a shit show. They knew it was going to be a shit show. They had this roadmap of how they're going to fix everything, which is all bullshit. Yep. And then now they're saying it's sexism. Like, right? That's the new thing, is that it's everything goes to it's politics, sexism, racism. So you explain that. Yeah.
So the community manager behind Saints Row, I think it's a she, goes by the name of Deadly Steph. And when this game first came out, when people were saying, hey, this game is kind of crap and you guys need to fix it, she started calling people, or she started creating changes for the game to change to Al-Qaeda-like behavior.
Oh God!
I think that's a safe word to say on here.
Yeah, it's fine. No
right? So she was calling all these people that. She was attacking fans, and then she went ahead a couple of days ago and made a post saying, hey, the only reason why I got all this hate was because I'm a woman. Yeah. Was because I wasn't a dude.
Yeah. Never mind the game sucks. Never mind it's a shit show. Never mind. It's always got to be that.
Broken. Let me ask you a question. If a woman made a really awesome game,
which happens,
would she get shit? Would she get shit?
No, because
So the point is you, whether you have a dick or a vagina, you made a shitty game, and you're gonna get it. Yeah. I'm just so tired of people going, "Oh, it's because it's not because you're a woman. It's because what you did was terrible."
Yeah, shit.
Well, the thing is, too, she's a community manager, so her job is to interact with fans, get them hyped up, and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And she went ahead and then she went on like this. But the thing is, before the Deadly Steph situation even happened, one of her male colleagues ended up posting a meme pretty much saying that the people who are criticizing Saints Row is getting mad at the people who are having fun. And he got just as much shit as she did.
Yeah. See, that's my point.
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that whole thing before, and this is the problem we were talking about before the show too. And then I know I get into this conversation with other gamers and Vex especially, because she's in that community too, partly. And it's like this atmosphere of the AAA gaming platforms, these developers. It's been a mess for years now. And then I think we knew that development cycles were getting harder and harder. There's more money being pumped into these games. And what he said. What a good sandwich maker 2049.
I was waiting for a sandwich. Yep.
No, like, and that's the thing.
Kicked off YouTube for saying that.
Yeah. Like, I think what happened is that, and tell me if I'm wrong, the Cyberpunk situation really put it to the forefront. I mean, it really, there was so much hype for this game, and CD Projekt Red shit the bed so bad. It was so pathetic. Now they've kind of made up for it, but it took over a year for them to patch the game, fix it, and then their fucking animated series on Netflix is what brought people back even more, because that was done excellent. So yeah.
Now, personally, I like the game. I know it has a lot of controversy, but the thing about this here is that what normalized this type of behavior was actually No Man's Sky.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Because
things that were promised didn't actually weren't in the game. Yeah,
well, like during an interview, the CEO went ahead and said that they were going to have multiplayer, and the devs didn't even know about this until he did this interview.
Right, I remember that.
And then it took them like what, a year or 2 years to finally get everything.
And now I hear the game's fantastic, No Man's Sky, but it took so much. That's the problem. I'd rather delays than just putting out a shit product. If Cyberpunk would have came out and said, "Hey, we have to suspend development for another, or continue on for another year, or even," and this is the 4th time we have to, people, they'll get shit initially, but I still rather have, And then the sad thing is, after the updates came out, I remember I didn't have a PC yet for it. I had it on the I was going to buy it for the PlayStation 4. Then I was like, no, then I got the 5. And I said, I'm going to wait. And thank God I did, because not only was the patch for next-gen systems and the PC excellent, I got the game for like $4 used at one of our game stores because nobody wanted it anymore.
Yeah, like when I went ahead and I bought the game there, I bought it, I think it was like 6 months after it came out. And I got like a day 1 edition for $25 at eBay.
That's a great deal.
And it came like with all like the collectible stickers and that for it.
Yeah, me too. It has a map inside of it and all this
cool
stuff. $4. I remember I got it right around Black Friday for Thanksgiving, around for that shopping time of year. She was because she's a wonderful woman. She's doing some shopping, and there's a game store right next to it called GameStop. And I was like, go in there and see if they have this. Sure as shit, it was $4.99. And I was like, you got to buy it because the free next gen update for people was coming out like a month later. So I said, I'm going to hold it. I am not touching it. And I was pleasantly surprised by the game. I think it was fine. And now they have a new expansion coming out soon. And now they're saying they might take some more time with that. Fine. Do what you got to do, man. Get it right. The problem, like Vex said with CD Projekt Red now, is they made The Witcher, which was freaking 3. Now they're going into their own identity politics. They're talking about how these new games are going to have diversity and all this inclusion, and the old Witcher game now they're remaking is going to have for modern time. When I hear modern audiences, I'm out. I'm like, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. And you make one of my favorite games of all time, Witcher 3, and then even then, the developers are like, well, even in that game, we had some identity politics. I'm like, no, don't ruin this for me, please. Just shut up.
Yeah, look, you literally had cards you could get after sleeping with characters in that game that showed them naked on it.
Thank you.
Like, are you really going to compare that and say like, oh, there's identity politics in it?
And it's sad that I have to, just like with entertainment now, I have to vet all my stuff. I have to screen all my stuff. Like I have certain people that I'll go to on YouTube that I trust for movies and TV shows, including my own panel that I have on Monday. And it's like I have to wait and hear about any movie, any TV show. Now games are like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, so this, the new Spider-Man game's coming out. I love the first one for the PlayStation. That was fantastic. It surprised me how good it was. Then I'm like, the new one's coming out, and you have Miles Morales, you got Spider-Man, and you got Venom in it. I'm like, this is gonna. But then Insomniac goes, and when people were when people were taking out the LGBTQ flag that they put in and putting American flags, they're like, no, and they're blocking people from playing the game. I was like, so now even them, like I knew they were always had, like even I think even in some of their game entry.
What did you say about the Spider-Man people not being told to go to Comic-Cons because they're going to get too much?
Oh, that was a comic book. Yeah, that came out.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
It's the Amazing Spider-Man, one of the series. Basically, the guy who created it was told by I think the publisher of the comic book saying, "Don't go to Comic-Cons, don't go online. People are going to hate what we're doing to Spider-Man." And basically what happened was Spider-Man got cucked. I don't know if it's an alternate reality or an apocalyptic situation where Mary Jane has her own another family with somebody else, kids, a husband, And Spider-Man's like, what the hell happened here? So I'm like, of course they had to do that with Spider-Man.
Yeah, like next thing they're going to make him gay.
Oh, well, they did it with Superman. So I mean,
yeah, his son or whatever, and then
his son is gay. He's got the LGBTQ flag in his cape. I'm like, it's never-ending cycle of just shit.
Like, just like leave that like the hell out of that stuff, right? Like whatever happened when you could just sit back and enjoy something.
You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. They don't like to enjoy shit anymore. You have to go way back in time for all that and rewatch classics.
Yeah, it's really sad. But even with gaming, so that's why I've been doing a lot of the retro gaming lately, because it's like I know the games were good. I know there were no politics behind these games. They're just still they hold up. The side scroll games still hold up. Where the newer ones, like I was kind of excited for this new Star Wars game that's coming out. I forgot what the Yeah. And I'm like, I actually liked the first one. I was like, it was a nice surprise. But what's around the corner for the new one? Yeah. There you go. Spidey Canadian maple syrup webs. Yeah. Like, it's like I don't even know what to expect. So I'm like, I don't even buy games brand new much anymore. The only one I'm gonna get that's newer is this Zelda game coming out, because I know it's Nintendo. They're not going to fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, right? Like even games like I went ahead and I purchased Gotham Knights back in the summer to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of all right until they started putting like this like LGBT emails and that in it, saying like that, like I think it was like Tim Drake was gay.
Yep.
And then when you seen it, it was like in your face.
Yep.
Like it wasn't something subtle you could like gloss over. It was like right there.
Wasn't there something else about Lucius Fox talking about Bruce Wayne being a white billionaire?
Yeah. And... justice defined by a wealthy white man isn't justice, it's a crusade.
So not only did you take Batman out of the game, which I don't dislike the concept so much for something new, but you take your most popular character out of the game. The game didn't run well when it first came out, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or that's why they ditched the last gen. Yeah, they ditched last gen. And then you add identity politics, and the game sucks. And it's already. I saw it on sale on the PlayStation Network for like $24 already, or not less.
Yeah, and it came out in September, I think.
Yeah. So the game bombed, and it's like I wonder why. It's really sad. So getting into the content stuff now, the pop culture shit. I don't know how much TV or movies you watch or have time for, but what the hell is going on? Like I had to watch what was it, Ant-Man and Quantum Mania, whatever the fuck the newest one was, for a show I was doing, and I literally almost gouged my eyes out. It was probably the worst. It was the worst movie I think I have seen in a decade. That's how bad it was.
The last Marvel show I watched was She-Hulk. Okay, and that was just because I wanted to do a thing for YouTube. I wanted to see if it was just as bad as everybody was saying. The last movie I watched was, I believe, Endgame.
Oh wow! So you're going pretty far back there.
Yeah,
which is smart. I think, and I've said this before, I think that was obviously the end of this. Whatever anything good that I actually thought. I don't know how you felt about this. I thought Infinity War was a much better movie than Endgame. I thought Endgame had great parts, but it's starting to you could see the little chinks in the armor there about woke stuff and Captain Marvel, and I'm
that was the start of the downfall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when it.
Yeah, and so like when you hear about James Gunn taking over DC now, I don't know if you like DC properties, but you're like, okay, I'm interested in this. You're like, I just don't give a shit. I'm kind of done with all this.
Well, what doesn't sit right with me is that, like I said, I'm not really interested in DC properties.
Sure.
But what doesn't sit right with me is that he was replacing Henry Cavill as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because one thing where he said he's like going to reboot this entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
But yet he's keeping some actors in their roles and then replacing others.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. Like, if you're going to reboot a universe, replace everyone.
Yeah, that's true. I know there was a lot of shit he got for the Cavill thing. I felt bad for Cavill the whole time. I thought he was a perfect Superman. I love Christopher Reeves because I grew up with Christopher Reeves.
Yep.
That's how old I am. but I liked Cavill. He had the look. He had the demeanor. So he had this thing where he was likable. Women loved him. Men wanted to be him. But they turned it, like, I don't know. I know, like you said, you don't. Did you ever see Man of Steel and that whole trilogy with Batman, Superman, and all that?
I seen Man of Steel and I seen Batman versus Superman. I haven't seen Justice League or.
Well, you're not missing anything. So yeah, that was a whole shit show because that was the whole Zack Snyder thing. And I like I said, I don't know how you, but I at first thought, okay, this could be interesting. The guy who made 300 is going to make a Superman movie, so okay, I'm interested. It didn't turn out good. I thought Man of Steel was a major missed opportunity, and then. You have Christopher Nolan coming off the Dark Knight trilogy, producing it, which basically it was Christopher Nolan's movie in tone. It was dark. It tried to do with Bruce Wayne in the Dark Knight series. Would do with that, like that. This whole like, well, what if Superman wasn't always happy and jovial and didn't have like this American great positive outlook and was brooding and couldn't find his place? I'm like, that's not Superman, dude. Like it just didn't fit.
Yeah, because he's always been like this confident dude, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah. And he's maybe gone through trials and tribulations in even the old movies and the comics, but they went too far.
Yeah, but I mean, like that happens with everything, right? That's
100%
the story arc.
Yeah, and then the way they killed his father in the movie was stupid. The tornado.
Like, yeah. That's the one part from that movie I remember.
Oh, so
and then
bad.
He's like screaming at his father, and his father's like telling him like no.
Yeah, a tornado. I'm like,
yeah,
like let him have like in the original movie, it was a heart attack. He was old, like. If you're gonna do something different, make it be like he died in a car. I don't know, a tornado, and it's like it was stupid.
Make it happen in a way that'll make Superman feel helpless.
Thank you.
Like no matter what he does, even his powers can't save his father.
He's standing under an overpass where he easily could have been there and back and got him in a blink of an eye, and nobody would even notice.
Yeah.
And then the dad's telling him, "Don't do." It's like what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's just Zack Snyder storytelling. And then Batman vs Superman was a shit show, which I knew it was going to be. And then Justice League, the original one that Josh Whedon took over, was a fucking nightmare. It was terrible.
I heard it.
Snyder cut is better. It's not perfect. Now I always tell Vex, like, Vex, watch it because I think you would like some of it, not all. She's like, I can't watch it a 4-hour Snyder movie. Fuck that. I was like, okay.
I actually really liked it.
It's better. Like, it's definitely, you could see where his vision could have gone if it was. It's just I'm kind of done with the whole DC. Like, I'm just the comic book thing. Oh my god.
Don't mention that.
The Mated Squad. The Mated Squad. Yeah, I'm trying to think like anything newer. So what else do you like besides gaming and that? What kind of shows do you like to watch besides like She-Hulk, of course, and the twerking She-Hulk? Is there any kind of genre that you like, or anything you're looking forward to?
What I've been watching recently is South Park.
Well, that's everybody loves South Park.
Yeah, see, there's not really. I don't really like watching a lot of the newer stuff.
Yeah,
because I know in one way or another it's going to be all this bullshit crap, right?
Mm-hmm. So do you have like so if you got to go back, do you have like a genre of movies that you like to watch, like going older ones or?
So I'm a big horror movie fan.
Every gamer is a horror movie fan. It's so crazy.
That's what I like. I like the older horror movies. They find the new ones aren't.
Just follow, they're kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite older horror movie?
The Nightmare on Elm Street series.
God, everybody loves that one. I got to tell you, man, that series early on, especially, was so damn. As a kid, now I was a kid growing up in the 80s and 90s watching those things. It scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Well, I went ahead and I used to watch horror movies as a kid, and I went ahead and I used to watch Chucky all the time.
Oh yeah.
And I would have nightmares about him. And then I was around 10 years old, and I had a nightmare about him. And in that nightmare, he was chasing me, and I turned around and I just drop kicked him. And I woke up laughing. And that's how my nightmare stopped.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. You conquered your fear.
Yeah,
Chucky was a wild one. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I as a kid, I was scared. Oh my god. You've got mail. Yeah, no. That is a scary goddamn movie. That is a scary movie. Meg Ryan, another. Yeah, oh god. So there's as far as anything new. I mean, we saw the Mario Brothers movie because I grew up with. That was my childhood. I had to go see it.
It was
fun. Okay, so I'm gonna preface this because I know people. I liked it. I thought here's the thing: if you grew up as a fan of the games, you will catch every Easter egg. You'll notice every little thing. It's a ton of fan service. I mean, overboard almost, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
my problem with the movie was, and a lot of people are gonna think I'm crazy, it's an animated kids movie. I thought the story could have been a lot better. They just kind of throw Mario right into this thing. And it's like that's it. It's just you're going into the Mushroom Kingdom, and it's Easter egg, 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 end. And it moves fast. Like it's made for this generation. It's the TikTok generation of the movie.
Yeah, where they have no attention span.
Now I like it. I thought it was fun. I thought the voice acting was okay for the most part, except Seth Rogen, because I can't fucking stand him. I can't stand him. I think if I would tell people, if you really didn't love the games, just wait to watch it when it comes out to stream or whatever. I wanted to see it. Because I've played the games. My kids played the games with me. Mrs. Cannoli's played those games.
Yeah,
so I was like, yeah, I was like, I even love the intro to the game, which people didn't like, but I liked it. You know how Marvel has their opening, DC has their cinematic opening, Nintendo has one now for their universe, and it brought me back as a kid, sitting in that basement back east when I was living there as a kid with my dad playing Mario. Like I was like, that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, it's like the nostalgia feeling, right? Like it made you feel happy.
It made me feel happy, and I think that's why the movie's also doing so well, because you have 4 generations of people grew up with this.
For you,
Medium going to say he wanted the movie. He did. Here's what I understand about the story. He wanted it, yes, as little story as possible. He wanted it to feel like a video game, and it does. Now, Mario games don't have deep stories. Let's face it. It's a fucking guy who jumps, mushrooms make him bigger, fire makes it, he flies like it's nuts. So from what I understand, though, Gamer is that Nintendo restricted Illumination from putting all this woke shit into the movie. They wanted Princess Peach to be the hero. They wanted her to be the main story. And Nintendo said, fuck you. We don't do that shit here in Japan.
Yeah.
So I heard they had to rewrite the script just to get Mario and Luigi as the heroes back at the end.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, because I was seeing some articles saying how it's woke, and then I had people like Tim Pool or whatever going off saying that it was woke. And people were saying no, it's not woke. This is one of the things that isn't actually all that woke.
It's one of those things. I had the one problem I had was the whole Boss Peach, girl boss thing.
Yeah.
They do. Here's the thing. Knowing the story that I know now, you can see where Illumination did have what their intention was. They pulled it back a little bit. Now, yes, she does have, I think, moments where she could do no wrong. She's perfect. She does this and that, but she does ask for help from Mario at the end. She does need him to, and she lets him save the day. Not lets him, but it's organic. Like him and Luigi are the heroes. Of course, she's not a damsel in distress. Like she doesn't need them to save her, but she's like, all right. But she's not talking down to him. Like, you're a piece of shit. You're a man. I'm princess. No. She says,
as you were.
Yeah, she along the way, she's like, you can do this, we're gonna get your brother back. I'm here to help you, that kind of shit. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah, well, that's acceptable, right?
I think it's fine. They told the line, and then you could see where Nintendo was like, no, pull it back here. here. The only problem I had with the movie is that Luigi's in the movie for 5 minutes, which fucking pissed me off, because I want to see him and the brother, Mario and him, save the princess.
Yeah, that dynamic.
So I'm hoping that's the second movie. So I don't know. I think it's worth the watch later on.
I appreciate that.
She's doing a great job. I'm sorry, I'm just babbling here. I'm just but yeah. So you got South Park. So the only other movies, I love South Park, man. I like watching a lot of that old shit. I've been watching a lot of even me, older shows, older movies. I just watched. Oh God, Copa can tell me about it. It was an animated show on Netflix based off the League of Legends. Oh my God, what the hell is it called? Arcane?
I was just going to say that. Is that called? I think it's someone called Arcane.
Fuck. I didn't think I was going to like it, but off his recommendation, I was like, he's like, you're going to love it. It was fantastic. 9 episodes. The animation, people don't like the animation style. I thought it was great. The stories were great.
No, that's Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Holy shit, that's a surprise that it's actually good then.
No, it's fantastic. No, I'm telling you, man. Arcane. I was like, what the hell is he having me watch? Because I usually like to get recommended that kind of stuff because I don't really, know too much.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. When I can watch a show or a movie when the first 5 minutes they grab me, I'm like, I'm gonna love this.
Yeah,
and that show, it's a recommendation I can give you if you want to watch it. Please do. You will not be disappointed.
No, I never seen anything League of Legends related. I haven't played.
Me neither.
But I mean, yeah, I'm going to give it a watch and see if
this too. Cyberpunk Edge Runners was fantastic.
That was on one of my lists to watch too. Because like I said, I love the game, right? It's
yeah, and then Copa was also telling us about that. Like they use a Japanese animation studio to do it, in the Japanese we don't want, like, they wanted woke shit in that too, and they're like, nope, we don't do that shit here.
Well, that's why Japan is beating us at pretty much when it comes to entertainment, right?
Everything.
It's because they don't insert this bull crap into their works, whatever that is, whether that's their books, whether it's their TV shows. It's
it's a fine line, and it's hard because I have a teenage daughter, and I try. It's so hard to navigate, like, how to raise her in this world with technology and social media, and what are her friends saying? What are her teachers telling her? I will say though, she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders. Here's what I don't like, and I don't try to persuade her in any way. So I think the problem as a parent though is that there's just so much outside information that I didn't have as a kid. It was just what was in my neighborhood, what my friends were, my parents, like my family. Now there's like tons of information. So it's like, I don't know how kids today do it. Honestly, I feel bad for a lot of parents and a lot of kids, but you really got to pay attention. Like, you always have to pay attention to what your kids are doing, but now it's 100 times worse. And us, I don't know. She does. I don't know how Miss Cannoli does it too, because it's exhausting trying to keep up with what she's doing.
Well, I mean, look at everything they can get at now, right? We're at the internet.
Yeah,
and then you don't even know what they're doing, because they can have like incognito mode. You can have VPNs up that block your searches. All that stuff. You don't know.
Yeah, it's a wild time. But I know that. So the last time we had Mrs. Cannoli had her show, the Female Perspective show, they went off on all the stuff that's going on with the gender stuff. So do you sit in a specific area on that, or do you like, I don't give a shit as much, or are you just like, I'm so tired of this? Because I've seen you post on Twitter, and it's just like, I think I agree with a lot of stuff you say.
So how about the point? I'm tired of this. So when this stuff was first going on about the trans issues and that, like, I'm talking about back in like the early 2010s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was all for it. I was like, yeah, sure, all right. I said, whose business is it of ours what you do behind closed doors?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my opinion about the whole LGBT stuff. But then all of a sudden it switched to, it's none of your business to, we're going to make it your business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to identify us as these pronouns. You have to say that we are a woman, even though we might be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's just nuts to think that there's people like this. Like, of course, that's not the whole community, but that there is people like that out there, and it just gets tiresome, especially when you see the same old excuses used all the time. If you disagree with them, you're transphobic. If you think that they shouldn't be able to do certain things, you're transphobic. It's
right.
And then you have the mainstream going on about it too, right? Like, taking their sides, remind everybody that all that crap. I don't want to say too much just in case you get kicked off.
No. I get it, dude. It's frustrating.
You should hear my Friday shows, but I should have been kicked off 3 times.
Well, what's great about their show is that you have it's mostly women and just one guy who kind of brings in the male perspective, but it's the 3 lead women on this host. And I think why they get so much positive attention is because it's any guy. Like, we're just guys talking about this stuff. It's the same thing over and over. When you have 3 women who actually have skin in the game, they're married, they have children, they're have life experience, and can actually talk about this stuff in an intelligent manner and actually talk about their life experiences. People are gonna take notice. And and so she
affected by all this
100%,
right? Like,
and then even today, Mrs. Cannoli and I were talking about, like, if you're a woman, how are you not fucking insulted by all this stuff?
Oh, I'm gonna start a movement of why everybody hates women all of a sudden. I mean, the amount of because Vex sent me a thing today where they are changing a statue in Denmark. And it was a female museum, and now it's like gender neutral.
Yes,
museum.
I seen that. Yeah,
they changed the statue to a man breastfeeding. Let me tell you something.
Oh boy.
If you've ever grown a human being and given birth to it, then you can talk. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you want to wear a dress and have a beard and play dress up and do whatever, mind your business. I don't want to see it. Do it behind closed doors. But stop trying to compare yourself to a woman. It's insulting, and I'm really starting to get tired of it because they're discrediting things that women can do. And if men could have babies too, a lot of us women would let the men have babies because it's not a pretty thing. It's not fun.
Sorry. Yeah, it's chest feeding, you bigot.
Oh, chest feeding. I'm so tired of it. And that thing today, that it's a man breastfeeding.
Well, we'll go and check that poll out. Love it.
Yes. No. So anyway, it's getting out of hand, but I really feel like everybody hates women now because we're being disrespected so much and we're just being belittled. Like, oh, you think you can have a baby? So, oh, you can have a period? Who gives a shit? Oh, you can breastfeed? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to try to do all that too. No, you're not.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And these people, they have to make being trans their identity. It's not that they want to be recognized as a woman. They want to be recognized as a trans woman.
Right, right. No, it's true. And then there's things like we were watching today, Brett Cooper on the Daily Wire, and Vex and I had brought this up on our show a couple weeks ago where, now it's so out of hand and you can't offend anybody that they're letting men who are dressing up as women into sororities. And then meanwhile, she is getting a boner while the other girls are in the showers.
Dude, I mean, he's like asking, whatever the fuck it is asking them about like their romantic relationships and women cup sizes. And I'm just like,
no. And like what it feels like to have a vagina and weird stuff. Meanwhile, conveniently, this transgender person who's dressing up as a woman is now identifying as a lesbian. So now she can go after all the broads in the sorority. It's
I agree.
It never ends.
I agree with this comment. This is the problem. Women.
I know. He's right.
Megyn Kelly. I don't know if you know Megyn Kelly is. She used to be on Fox News and she was very popular. So she has her own podcast. She went ballistic this week talking about this. And she's like the first real, I don't say real woman, but like the big figure that came out and said, this is bullshit. We have to stop. This is going to destroy women. And then where are the feminists? My thing is, where are the feminists at? All of a sudden.
Yeah, right. They're all quiet.
The feminists are quiet.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to start putting out more videos or being more social on here because I am so tired of the disrespect and I don't understand. And it's so interesting because let me ask you guys something. This kind of just popped into my head. Why is it one-sided where all we're hearing about is men who want to be women and it's ruffling all these feathers? Why aren't the women who want to be men such a big shit show? Do you see that? I only see when men want to be women that it's causing a fuss.
Right.
Yep. So that's one of the things. That's one of the things I was actually thinking about the other day about the whole men using women's washrooms and women's using men's washrooms.
Right.
Right. It's a big issue that men are using women's washrooms because of the obvious reason.
Right.
And that is why people are concerned about it. But people aren't really concerned about the opposite because let's be honest here. Most stuff doesn't happen to a guy like that.
Right. No, it's true. You're right. You're right. But it is. What?
No, there was what to say. There's some interesting breaking news for people who are listening. So the Bud Light marketing VP who did the campaign for Mulvaney, the one that was, I think she was on YouTube saying why she was put on leave. In an apparent. Well, when you lose $6 billion in market value and revenue off of your company because of a stupid commercial.
You know what? Let me just say one thing, and I brought this up to Cannoli earlier, and I'm going to be careful on how I word it since now YouTube.
Well, you're on Rumble too, so you should be okay.
So Dylan Mulvaney, I saw it on TikTok last night. It was an ad, and I didn't even know what I was getting into. But Dylan Mulvaney was doing as a spokesperson for Native deodorant, and they would drop the deodorant from the ceiling and then they would drop a piece of candy because the candy was supposed to smell or taste like deodorant. Listen, I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is every time Dylan Mulvaney looked up, I saw so much stubble down here with the pigtail braids and the little tank top, and I wanted to vomit. Stop it.
See, I don't even think that's someone who wants to be necessarily trans. I think
That's
that's
what
someone
we're
who has a certain thing with the big F word.
You know what?
You know?
Vex actually says that. Vex thinks too, and a lot of people are coming out saying that that Dylan Mulvaney is just playing this up.
Well, yeah, he's a Broadway actor. He was an actor before this.
Yep.
And the thing is, he's probably making a killing at it.
Oh yeah.
Sponsorships. No, sure. Because there is a list of things that Dylan Mulvaney is the spokesperson for. Vex sent it to me, and it's disgusting. It's like,
see, there you go. Look at this. What? He's right. Megan Rapinoe, she said this, and not one woman said anything about it. Now, how? This is the problem. And Stephen Ransom's right. Women have to start speaking up. Now, the thing with the school we were just talking about in the University of Wyoming with the guy in the sorority, they're suing and it's going to court. They said, yeah, you have a case here. So if they win,
the thing is the 6 girls, actual women with vaginas, are not releasing their identities because they'll get so much hate. They'll get so much. They're scared for their their lives because people will come after them and tell them they're being transphobic because they won't let some person who has a dick and wears leggings into a sorority. I'm just so sick of the double standard.
A chick with a pecker.
Chick with a pecker.
Yeah, that's natural.
But you know what the thing is too is you don't know. I don't even understand. I don't know this if it's sincere or not. Like how many of these people actually truly feel this way, which I don't think most of them do. And this one, look, is probably going back and telling his buddies, look, dude, I just put a dress on and threw my hair in some pigtails and all these naked.
I got into a sorority with all these hot girls, and I don't know what to do.
You can't say shit because if you do, you're transphobe. Oh my God, the school's transphobic.
One of the things is that you used to see stuff like that in the old movies, right? About pulling pranks and that.
Yes.
And now it's like, you know, like
Beard is right. You will lose scholarships. You have to be careful because you can lose your job if you say too much stuff on social media.
Yeah.
But you should be able to say your piece outside of work. It should not resemble the company you work for.
No. It's nuts. They expect you to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Is what is, especially when it comes to these issues. I mean, we've seen it time and time again happening. Prime example is the whole Kara Lynn situation with limited run games.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because interviewed her. I felt bad for her, man.
Yeah, because some deranged brony didn't like the fact that she was excited for Hogwarts Legacy. So she thought that thought that they had the right to try to ruin her life, to try to get her fired, try to get rid of her livelihood.
Yeah.
And this is the sense of entitlement that these people have. They are the most selfish people.
That actually worked. Cannoli, that sort of attitude there that Subtle's talking about, didn't it work for which sport refused to wear the pride flag?
Oh no, so it was hockey. These people are Russians and they don't give a shit about this stuff. No. So like they stopped. The teams were refusing, and the NHL, who's gone into this massive woke, they're doing a lot of this woke advertising, and they said, and the teams were like, we're not doing it. You can fine us, suspend us. We don't give a shit. And the league had to stop it. See, that's how
you do it.
That's how you do it. And they didn't come out and say we don't like gay people, we don't like LGBT people. They just said we are not doing it.
Let me tell you something. There is a guy on TikTok that I follow, and his name is Conservative Ant, and he is a very open gay guy. He lives in Florida.
I bet he's open.
And he said today on his TikTok video that he only stands for one flag. One. America. The American flag.
America.
Yep.
And he's so tired of, he goes, I'm not part of the community. Stop telling me I'm part of your community. You guys are effing up your own community. Leave me out of it. I stand for one flag.
Yeah, I'm an individual person.
Yeah. This situation.
You know what? The only reason you know he's gay is because how he talks. Like he presents himself. Yeah. Other than that,
he's more feminine.
Right.
Yeah. But he doesn't, he is like, I'm an American. Leave me alone. Because people are saying, oh, how are the rules in Florida? Because I guess there's some weird shit going on down there. And he's like, I don't know. I'm not in that community. I'm an American.
I think most people who are either gay or in that community, they want to be left alone. They just want to live lives like a normal person, like everybody else does.
He just
it's a small percentage of people that
are just screaming and sharing over Twitter about it.
Yeah, and Twitter's not real life. How many times do people have to say that? It's not.
like half this crap people say in Twitter, they wouldn't say it in your to a person in real life. Because the fact is, when you say to someone in real life, you got the chance of getting knocked the hell out.
The best advice I ever got, it was when we first started doing streams together, Copa, Catania. He said is like, just remember, Twitter's not real life. Even YouTube is not necessarily real life. It's like your interactions. Once you're off the screen and I put the phone down, that's the real world. And I'm like, that's a great point, because you don't got a lot of and that's why things like people like you or other people that I gravitate towards are just it's authentic. Authenticity is massive in this platform. Just be yourself. You could tell the fake people immediately. I know some of them. I knew there were people who were collaborating with me who acted that way, and I'm like, nope, done. And I cut that. The people I work with now, I talk to. You don't even have to be like-minded. You could disagree with me.
Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing wrong.
Just be a fucking authentic person.
Yeah. Like you don't have to be friends with everyone who agrees with you. I don't have to be enemies with everyone who disagrees with you. Right. Thinking so, it is a horrible mindset to have, and you're going to live a very crappy life with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this thing with Jana was talking about with the Riley Gaines thing, that was a fucking nightmare. I don't know if you know that about. She went to, I think it was San Francisco State University to do a speech. And they literally kidnapped, like they held her hostage. The trans people.
How come I don't know about this?
It was something that happened last week, I believe.
They were demanding money.
They were demanding money to release her.
Yeah.
Not one person arrested. Not
who's
one.
Riley Gaines?
She's like a
some kind of speaker.
Yeah, I think she did. Oh God, I think she did like sports stuff, or I don't know if she used to work at ESPN. I don't know. She's
like
she's a speaker.
Something, and they were mad at her.
She was going to speak about trans people competing in women's sports. That's what I believe.
So I think she was was she a high school athlete?
I gotcha.
Yeah, she was a female athlete speaking out again. Oh, she's a swimmer. That's right, Janet. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Yeah, she was a swimmer who went to speak out, and they literally fucking held her hostage.
Yeah, one police officer between her and these like hundreds or like, well, not hundreds, but like 50, 75 people.
Not one person got in trouble. Not one person arrested.
How is that okay?
Well, because first of all, it's San Francisco.
Because she's a white woman. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I apologize.
Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
Yep.
It's absolutely disgusting, and stuff like that is this is what pisses me off more, is the double standard. And I just don't know where we're going, man. That's why, people want to make fun of Canada.
Right in the shitter.
As a joke, I joke with you. I'll joke with Fex. I'm like, we're not that far off. If things keep going the way politically in this country that they're going, we're not going to be. We're going to be just as bad as Canada.
Because look now, they're trying to impose tougher gun laws on you.
They're trying.
Look, like they're trying to get rid of all of our guns now.
Mm-hmm.
Like first, they went ahead and they got rid of hunting rifles that looked like assault weapons. And this is because of the mass shooting that happened in my province. The prime minister went ahead and used that for his own political agenda. And then I believe with the stuff that happened in Texas, the UVLAD.
Yeah.
Because of that, our prime minister went ahead and banned handguns.
Yeah.
And now they're coming after now they're coming after just hunter-owned weapons. Like just regular rifles and that.
Yeah, because if the guns are confiscated, people can't fight back. It's harder. So that was the swimmer that lost to Leah Thomas.
Oh, so okay. Yeah.
So that's good call.
Because I remember she had a lawsuit. I think it was. Her and a couple other ones had a lawsuit against her. Yeah.
So the gun thing is very obviously a touchy subject in this country. I always tell us with people that are pro-gun, because I own them. I think they're a great means of protecting yourself. I think training is important. Yes. I think you need to understand your weapons. Just don't buy one and think you're fucking, Rambo and you're going to just start flipping the thing around and learn how to use it. But it's a sore subject with me, because I do see my generation and probably might be the last generation besides the older generation. My generation might be the last true gun ownership generation. Because they're going to make it hard to pass down the guns. Like in America, you can hand down the guns. They're going to make it hard to do that. Grandfather them, and it's going to get harder to buy them. So if my kid becomes 25, 30, what are the gun laws going to be like? Am I going to be able to give her my weapon? It's like,
they're going to have a gun.
They're going to have guns. Like they're already talking about, they're making smart guns where they're set just for your fingerprints.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's that going to go? Like, So we're
trying to police department of government.
That's my point.
Yeah,
all your information. It's like we're at a point where I don't know if you saw this too in the UK, where they're trying to take away knives now from suspected criminals. Suspected. I love how they throw that word suspected.
See, whenever I feel bad about Canada, I just look at the UK.
UK's a mess, man.
Yeah, like that's no, they're taking away knives.
So it's like,
see, well, the thing about all these laws is that, hey, guess what? Criminals don't follow them because criminals are criminals because they don't care about laws. They don't
give a shit about what criminals do. But you're right.
Yeah.
What needs to happen is these women are pitted against biological. No, I agree. I always say you want to change the game. Have a trans person have a trans person play an NFL game one time.
Yeah.
You want to be a man, transition from a woman to a man, and have them go out and face a 400-pound linebacker and get just demolished.
Yeah,
and but the thing is, they'll blame the linebacker though.
Yeah, but with that comment there too, I think there's a certain pressure too that's placed on them because because if they do that, then they're going to be in the spotlight, and then once again, that mob is going to kind of be coming after them, right? So it's like,
good point.
Do I not compete and this happen, or do I compete and take the loss?
Yeah, it's true.
You shouldn't. It shouldn't be brought to that. It's terrible that they have to make that decision.
Yeah.
See, Arizona's like this too, Beard, where you do not need paperwork to just yet. It's not like this yet. I can go to my neighbor and give him a gun, or my family member, and there's no paperwork needed. I know people don't like that but it's, to me, it's this whole part of the freedom thing, right? Just
Well, in Canada, you need to get a license, and then you need to wait. You need to write a test. You need to take a course and all that stuff. That's just for rifles and that. And then you need to wait 6 months after that to see if you got accepted or not. Be able to have a gun.
So they make it almost impossible. They just don't. They want people to give up and be like, I don't want a gun anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you a story. When I went to get this test done, I was when I wrote the test, when I took the course, I was 18. When I was 14, I had an incident where I broke my parents' window, and they went in and they called the cops on me.
Oh, wow.
Because of that incident, when I was a minor, they would flag me for having this license.
Wow.
They would not give me my license. I went ahead and I called up, and it was like, look, this happened when I was 14, right? I was a kid. I'm an adult now. That shouldn't matter. And they're like, oh, yeah, we see that it happened when you were 14, so we're going to greenlight you for the license now.
Oh my God.
But that is how finicky they are with you getting your licenses for that stuff in Canada.
Wow. That's pathetic.
Well, they won't even let you leave the state. I mean, they're holding Vex hostage. I mean,
well, the stuff that she's trying to get through, she's trying to leave the correct way, and it's been taking so goddamn long. She's getting closer to the end, thank God.
She should just cross the border. Everybody else is doing it.
I told her to come here. Like I was like, come through Mexico. I'll meet you at the border.
Yeah. Well,
hey, Vex, I'm over here. Just run. They let everybody else in. I'll go. I know the perfect places. Living here for so long, I know exactly where to go to meet her, and I'll sneak her. I'll give her a job. I can give her a temp job.
And your government will probably give her some money too for doing it.
I was going to say she'll get a cell phone, money, hotel, plane tickets. Biden will sniff her. It'll be a fantastic time. But it's really sad that you were. What is the subtle says? I went under more scrutiny buying a shotgun than Ray Epps after a Capitol event. Yeah, it's true. I will say, and here's the thing that bothers me: people don't think that you do have to do background checks. This is a mysterious lie. This fallacy, like there's no background checks. And I remember when I got my first gun, my pistol, and Mrs. Cannoli came with me. Went to here. You go to the store, you pay a handler fee. I forgot what they actually call it, but FFL. They call it.
It's funny. If you buy a gun off of out of a store or something online, they send it to. Right, they sent it to that store.
Yeah, so you bought online. You have an FFL intermediary who gets the gun. They're licensed, and you go pay a fee, and you get the gun. So I go, and it took maybe 15 minutes total. And she goes, wait. So even her, at that point, wasn't really educated on it. She's like, well, so they're right. You can just leave with a gun. I was like, no. You didn't know what I did, though. I gave them my license. They looked up my social security number. They put your name into a system. And if any little tiny red flag comes up, you do not walk out with that fucking gun.
Yeah, like any history of violent crime.
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And I used to work at a place that had a retail section in the front, and there was a gun store for a while. And you know how many times I had to watch people get denied? Because back then you had to actually call the FBI to do the background check. That wasn't a computer system. And how many people were told, oh, you have this in your past. You have a ticket that you didn't pay for a driving incident. They're not allowing it. Yeah, like stupid shit. And then so I was like, no, you don't understand. They did a background check. That's the background check. Now I know people are like, oh, there's loophole. It's like, yeah, but there's loopholes in anything anyway. Like it's not like they're trying to. It's not like it's on purpose. But I've never ever seen where I worked or knew somebody or saw one of those places that let somebody walk out.
Well, the thing is too, most of the crimes that happen, they happen with illegal guns.
100%
gun crimes, right. So it's not like you said, people like, especially when it comes to the school stuff and that, have this weird conception or whatever that someone can go in, buy an AR-15, and then go to school.
That's my point.
You know, but that's not the case. Like even in Canada, we hear all the stuff about the U.S. and a lot of people in Canada believe that stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, no, like educate yourself before you speak, at least even a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to kind of. That's the problem. People don't want to educate themselves. They're sheep, and that goes for both sides. It goes for both sides. 100%. Not just naming one. Hey, thanks for showing up, Cult Classic Cage. By the way, Cult Classic Cage, YouTube would get along great. Another avid gamer. Well, she had a great live show on yesterday talking about the mess that gaming is and all the platforms. She's awesome.
I'll give her a subscribe after the stream.
Dude, you would love. She's awesome.
Yeah, she's good.
I love. She's the kind of person I was saying that I love on the platform. Genuine, just humble, but not afraid to give the opinion. Yep. And she's awesome.
And she explains things so I can even understand.
Yeah, it's great. No, she's great. But no, but I was. It's nice to have people in the community that know you could talk about gaming, even the good and bad, because it's like, you know. There's a lot of bad right now.
Well, that's the thing I found about this. Like when I started my YouTube channel, the YouTube channel, that is that the community is strong.
Oh God, yeah.
Like against all this stuff, the community, we're friendly, they're strong. But then you look on like the other side, and you can't like for instance, there that douchebag actual fandom.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know who he is. Yeah.
Well, like you look at that stuff and you realize how much they hate other people.
Yes.
And it's like, and you guys see yourself as the good guys?
No, I don't like those people. I don't like the shills. I have this thing where, and that's one of the things I will say about Geeks and Gamers that I liked initially, is that they didn't give in to, I'm pretty sure that Jeremy or whoever could have gave in to sponsors and became a corporate shill and just took the money. They wanted to do it on their own, and they're still doing that. Now they have sponsors, but they're people like-minded in their community, within their community.
Yeah, they're people who will support them.
Right. So I love that, and you're right though. But I see like the gaming community. When I first started YouTube, I saw a lot of gaming people, or just people in general. I used to like, and then as time went on, I was like, well, this is pretty like overproduced content, and it's just scripted too much. It's like it just doesn't feel real. And then when I got into this, I was like, holy shit, it really opens your eyes to like, wow, these people are just all phonies. Yeah. They're just in it for the money. I understand the whole dream. I would love to be able to do this full time as a hobby, a job, or even supplemental income where I didn't have to work a full-time job as much. Yep. That's not why I got into it. And now it sounds cliche. I got into it to talk to people like you, to have a show with my wife and or just do movie reviews and do fun stuff. I don't want to be negative all the time. No. They're just making us insane.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you want to do that, you would make a bunch of money. Because you know, that's what the mainstream likes. That's what YouTube likes. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's and that's with me too. That's just not who I am, right? No. Well, like I want to speak about things that I want to speak about. I want to show my real side, no matter how retarded that may sound. Right. You know,
I agree with you. I learned to put myself out there and not be phony. And then so if my growth is slow because I don't have time to do pre-recorded stuff and I just do live streams, fine. But at least I know that the people subscribing are going to stick with me and they're authentic and real and they believe what I believe in. You don't have to agree with me. Yep. You could disagree. And then I was like, you know what, Mrs. Cannoli, you need your own show because we need more female content creators.
And apparently I have a lot to say about those things.
Yeah, her shows do better than mine. And I'm like, great. I was like, you become the sugar mama. I'll be in the background producing. That's fine with me.
Well, the thing is too, like you said earlier, there's not a lot of that content on YouTube, right?
There isn't.
It's usually women talking about feminism or in all of this other stuff. There's nothing really talking about, I guess, this counterculture type thing, if you want to call it that.
I agree.
That's why I want to do it. I want to get it out there, and I want everyday women to talk about the horse shit that's going on, because nobody wants to say anything. Oh, we have to be support. No, we don't have to support everything that happens. I can say that women are women and men who wear dresses aren't, and I'm sorry. Stop trying to be me.
Yeah, it's your opinion. It doesn't belong to nobody else.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And you know what the beauty of my show is, just like anything else. And I can't stand when people are like, oh my God, that's so offensive and I hate it. Well, guess what? If I don't like something, I don't watch it. I don't understand why people are like, just don't watch it. If you don't agree, don't watch it.
Yeah, that's one of those things where people ask me, like, why don't you watch this show or this movie? And I was like, you know, I could hate watch something and I could get a shit ton of views doing a review about it. I did it with the Marvels trailer recently.
Yeah,
this is a test, and it worked out okay for me. And I was like, you know, though, on occasion I will do it.
Subtle is right. Two. Yeah, he's right. 2 is probably my limit, and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is too is that a lot of the people that preach that certain thing, right, were been like not you, but I'm saying from like the woke community that if you don't watch it. They're the very people who will scream and shout the loudest for something that they're not even interested in to get 100%. Changed. Like, did you see recently about the Lilo and Stitch remake?
Oh my God, with the
live action.
Oh God, I heard about this.
Well, did you know that the one that came out before we started this stream here, the one that's supposed to be acting as that guy, I forget his name, went ahead and was replaced, I believe, by someone who was darker skinned.
Oh, great.
Because people were complaining that much about it. Now, I do not know if that treat is real or not, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I seen there.
There was a lot of shit.
I wanted the girl. I wanted her to be blonde haired and blue eyed just to fuck shit up. Listen, you screwed my mermaid. You screwed my mermaid.
No, you're just a racist. That's why you're
racist. Yeah,
you're racist.
You're right.
You don't like black people because you don't like.
I apologize.
And that's the thing.
Privilege.
You can't even be critical on anything anymore. That's scary.
Yeah. Well, I went ahead when I started doing my Saints Row videos. One of the things I never mentioned in those videos was anything about race. Yet I would have people coming in the comments saying, "Well, you're just a racist."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Did you even watch the video?" Well, yes, but you're using a bunch of word salad. You're racist.
You white man.
You're not allowed to want anything to be the way that it was. Like, it's not that I'm not up for change, but get your own story. You know, leave my Little Mermaid alone. She's red hair, blue eyes. She's a white girl who lives under the sea. Now, let me tell you something right now. When The Princess and the Frog comes out, I want them to make Tiana from Switzerland.
Nope.
I want her to have the fairest skin. I want her to have like whitish blonde hair and the greenest eyes.
Hold on, I like this comment from to beat authority, we must delegitimize it amongst the eyes of the people. Yeah, I mean that's true. Racism is all about the race of people, their color and creed. Yes. Well, the true meaning, yes. And then here you go. I absolutely dumped on C. Yeah, if you check out GamerGeek's newest video, well, he had a couple out this week. Oh, a few that were great, just ripping apart this fucking game. And I knew a lot about what was going on, but watching his stuff kind of brought me more up to speed. Oh my God, what a shit show. Oh, that game is a fucking mess. These game developers. Yeah, but Beater Liberty's right. Entertainers across the board needs to write good stories instead of angry sermons. Then and the problem is too, we're so dumbed down by shit content that when something's even decent, and I don't mean great, just okay, it's built up as this amazing piece of content. I'm like, no, it's not spectacular. It's just okay. That's
all. And it's this thing too where these people are not focused on delivering good stories anymore. No. What they're focused on is all the brownie points they can be and how frankly woke they can be in their content.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then it's another thing with Copa too, because Copa's a writer and he was saying that the younger generations were brought up with there were no consequences for their actions, and it's showing up in their writing now. It's really sad when you can't even criticize these people, because then you get stuff like you were saying with it's racism, it's sexism, it's
homophobic,
any discrimination you could fucking think of, and I'm like, no, your game sucks. Just fucking admit that the game sucks. Own up to it.
Well, that's like I said in my last video, right? Like, people were not mad at the Deadly Steph because she was a woman,
right?
people were mad at her because she said some stupid ass shit.
That's it.
Yeah,
but no, it's because she's a woman.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see.
definitely. Yeah.
What music do you like, Gamer Geek, in games and outside of games? Okay, there you go. That's a good question.
Mixed taste.
Ooh, he's a man of many. Man of culture.
I could be listening to some 50 Cent, and there could be jamming out to Taylor Swift in the very next song.
Oh my God! Look at this guy.
I'm kind of right there with you. I'm all over the map too. All over the map.
Yeah, I really like Tom McDonald though.
Oh, I like Tom McDonald. Yeah, he's good because he speaks truth.
Yeah.
What's the other rapper that I like that he's not? He's just now real. Oh God, he's the white guy. NF. I like NF. NF is good. If you never heard his stuff, he's very much like Tom McDonald. The same vein. He's a white rapper, but he speaks a lot about depression, mental health, and just trying to get faces deep. It's really deep stuff that he sings about. See, the problem is not many people know about him because he doesn't want to be mainstream.
Yeah.
He unfortunately for him, he's just so good that he's becoming really popular after I don't know how 4 or 5 albums now. He's finally getting play on the radio. Oh, so yeah, and he's like, I don't know if I like this, But
Cult classic likes old school stuff.
Give me dude, the old the old stuff is the ABBA. Wow. Awesome.
Here's the thing. I never liked ABBA. Okay, I wasn't a fan. But your parents, Cannoli, took me to see Mamma Mia.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
When I was pregnant with the kid, and
I
loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, that's going old school. I will say, growing up, being an older gentleman now, it's a kind of a mixed bag for me too, because I grew up with my parents listening to a lot of the older stuff, right? And my brother was 5 years older than me. He got me into the classic rock and stuff. And then my friends growing up in the 90s were all into that era of hip hop, Wu-Tang and Tribe Called Quest and all that what was popular then.
Biggie and when Puff
Daddy Biggie, all that stupid shit. And then now I don't understand what music is now. I mean, maybe I'm just showing my age. I am that grumpy get off my lawn guy from Gran Torino. So
so a lot of the only real new stuff I listen to will be from Tom McDonald. Everything else, I'm like the old school country, old school Eminem, 50 Cent, and that stuff.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I just don't know what music is today. I listen to it and I'm like, everything sounds the same, which I was told that too when I was growing up. But there's really no heart to anything anymore.
Well, a lot of the rap in there, it's just all mumbles.
It's mumbles and it's the same shit they talk about.
And it's a lot of what's that?
Everybody sounds the same.
I was to say the voice things that they put on, the voice effects,
modulator stuff, the voice mod. We do.
That's why Taylor Swift is different, only because, and I know a lot of her stuff sounds the same, but I won't turn off a Taylor Swift song, and I know Cannoli is not.
Apparently, Gamergeek won't either.
I know, but
I just find they're catchy.
Right, but here's the thing.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
a lot of people is she writes all of her own songs. Every song she writes. That's pretty talented. I mean, this girl just is on an Eras tour, and she performed 41 songs.
Jesus.
And she's what, 30 something?
Yeah, she's in her early 30s, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
What person like that has 41 songs like that and all these? I mean, I have to say what you want about her, but she's doing something right.
She gets herself in trouble when she starts talking about politics.
Well, everybody does. Everybody does.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
See, there's certain people where I wouldn't even listen to their political opinion because I know if I do, that's going to cloud my view.
I agree with you.
It's going to cloud my enjoyment that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That is true. I have to kind of. God, it's really sad because there's a lot of actors that I grew up loving that now are very political. I'm like, dude, I'm kind of in that same mentality. I can't listen to them now because these are people that I love making classic movies that I just
We actually just talked about that on the Tuesday. I was on a show with Tabitha over on Inside the Booth, and we had a whole women's show, and we were talking about the integrity of actors and actresses, and would you still watch somebody in a movie knowing their political views or knowing that they carry on in their personal lives, and can you separate the two? And it's getting harder and harder.
Yeah. So like for me, like one of the ones you mentioned earlier there was Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Right. Like his opinions, they're idiotic. Let's be clear about that, right?
Yeah.
He's a huge hypocrite,
mm-hmm.
and I will not watch anything new with him in it, knowing those opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But I will still watch movies like The Interview, like Knocked Up, and that stuff because I still enjoy them.
Well, that's the thing.
But he's not someone that I would spend money on now to go out and watch.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you there. That's the point. It's like, how much money can you actually want to give these people going forward? I think you're right. There's older movies with a lot of these stupid people that I'm like, all right, I still like this movie. I'm going to watch it. I loved it when it came out 10 years ago. So I'm still going to watch it. It's just, yeah, it does make it's sad that we have to second think about, I don't want to buy this movie or go see it because this person's in it and I don't agree. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Just entertain people and just shut up.
and the thing with this here too, right? Like when we are deciding about this stuff, we're usually quiet about it, right? We don't usually speak all that much up about it. But then the other side, they're sharing about it. I mean, look at the situation with J.K. Rowling.
Oh God.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were literally sending her death threats because she went ahead and she said, you know what, I don't think women with peckers should be able to use women washrooms. And she's a
hardcore liberal too. Like she's very everything that they agree with for that, except that she agrees with. Like she said that.
Yeah. So like she's a huge feminist.
And like the one thing that actually takes some common sense in her opinion, and shows common sense in her opinion, they're like, no, and then they want to destroy. Like now with this new show that's coming out for HBO or Max, whatever the hell it's going to be called. Like people were like, oh, she's doing it, or she's going to have a hand in it. Well, you got to cancel it. You got to now. There's a lot of rumors coming out that Warner Brothers wants to put more people of color in the show to diverse. I'm like, just
you. Well, do you know the whole situation about how it all started with J.K. Rowling? About all this hate?
Yeah.
Because of her liking a tweet from someone that was dying, from a lesbian activist that went ahead and said that they shouldn't be called a bigot because they refuse to date women with peckers. And that's where all that hate first started.
Just because of that. And that's what I mean. It's how stupid these people, and then people buy it and they believe in it and they push it forward. And like if I'm her, I'm just like, these people are fucking nuts. And obviously Warner Brothers is like, no, we need to have her front and center and the thing is with the game, if I'm not mistaken, she didn't have a hand in the game, but she profited off it because it's her property.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah. She had nothing to do with the game. She got, I think it was royalties off of it. And then this is the reason why people are wanting to boycott the game, right? They're like,
it's so stupid. And the funny thing is the game was hot for a while and you notice you don't really hear much about it anymore. People still play it. It's
the reason why it was hot was because these people were going on like retards.
It almost made me buy the game.
That's what made me buy the game.
Yeah.
I read, I think, like 4 Harry Potter books, but then I saw all this stuff going down. I'm like, fuck you guys. I'm buying the game.
Yeah. And I'm not even the biggest Harry Potter fan. I was like, I want to support the game now because of all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Which, people could say, well, that's the wrong way to look at it too. Fine. But like, I never played it though. I still kind of like. I think eventually I probably will because I understand you really don't need to be a big Harry Potter fan to enjoy the game.
No. Like I went ahead and played. I didn't beat it yet. I got like halfway through it, but it's a decent game. It looks good. I'm not sure how it'll play on the PS5 if that's what you're going to play it on.
Yeah, So that was my dilemma. I was like, do I put it on the gaming laptop or do I try it for the PlayStation? I know it's coming out for the Switch. I have no fucking idea how they're going to get that game to run. Like they got The Witcher, they got The Witcher and Doom to run on the Switch, which is a fucking miracle. So I don't know how that's going to look. It's probably going to be it's probably going to look
720p.
Yeah, I was going to say like what you have to know is that when you're playing games in handheld mode on the OLED screen, it looks fine. It's a 7-inch screen. You're not noticing anything. But when you put that fucker on the big screen, you catch every little mistake. Yeah. So it's just a wild time we live in, and I do feel bad for people who, especially women. I just don't know where. Let's start, like I said, more start speaking out. So like giving Mrs. Ken, or her having this platform to talk about it. Again, people connect to it and they gravitate towards the show. It's only once a month, but I think people really like to hear their perspective. Haha, it's the name of the show. Yeah. But no, it's great. I think it's great. I think we need more of it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, right? People need to learn more about these experiences that real women are actually facing because of these issues. Because you don't usually see that on social media. You see this narrative trying to be pushed on it. And you know that's just how companies are these days, like Facebook, the social media, YouTube.
God. Yeah, Facebook's kind of a shit show these days.
Yeah. It
I
really
remember when that came out. I don't really know anybody who's on Facebook unless they're doing like doing this and have to advertise there. I don't go on it anymore, to be honest with you.
I once got banned on it for hate speech for saying that Quebecers were fake Canadians. It was a joke, of course.
Really?
Yeah, they banned me for hate speech for that for 30 days.
What, just for saying that?
Yeah, as a joke. Yeah. Because Netflix made a post, something like saying, like, what do you call Quebecers? And I wrote underneath it, I think it was like wannabe Canadians or something like that. Yeah.
So Canada is just like America, where each state has like a little rivalry with other states. Like other parts of Canada are considered.
Well, we have provinces, right? That's what we have. Right. Generally, it's going to sound bad here, but a lot of people really don't like Quebec. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of them have a reputation of being really ignorant, especially to people who speak English.
Right.
And that's not a lot of people like Quebec.
I think the only part of Canada we were in was the western part, British Columbia. I know it's a very touristy place. It was nice.
I've never been there.
It's pretty, but it's a very, very touristy kind of. Well, it's the British side, right?
And that's exactly it there. They don't want to be Canadians. They have said this time and time again. They've tried to separate from Canada before, I believe. and that's, yeah.
Thank you, Zach, for the insight. Yeah, no, that's weird. I mean, I never knew. Yeah. Quebecians. Okay. That's interesting. So what's so you're in Nova Scotia. So what's the closest, you said you live out in the kind of the state. So what's the closest town to you? Like, are you one of these areas where it is like,
so the closest city to me is around 2 hours away, and you have to cross a ferry to get to it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So when you have to go like food shopping and do all that, or do you just grow your own, like a lot of your own stuff?
No. So we have a small grocery store here.
Okay, I was gonna say,
but they charge like it's a lot of money, right? They charge food because we're out in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. So stuff is going to be more expensive to bring in. So we usually just go into the city to get our groceries and that, because it's usually evens out, right?
Sounds. But the sad thing about Canada is it's a beautiful country. It's a typical thing. It's just run by morons.
Yeah,
and it's sad because every picture I see of these, like the nicer, like where Vex lives too. I don't know where exactly it is, but it's really this open, beautiful place, especially in the spring and summer, where there's lakes and trees, and it's like, wow, this is gorgeous, and a lot of nature. And it's like you can't even enjoy it though, because you just got this looming thing of this government that's always getting in your way.
Yeah, it's just this looming feeling, right? Like if you say something wrong, like they went ahead and they introduced a new thing, or they're trying to introduce a new bill in Parliament now, saying that if hate speech against people in the LGBT community now, which is speech that can be deemed offensive, can they're laying you in jail or fine, or you can get fined for I think it was like $50,000.
I did see that.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like I live in the country where I live at. Like most people, they're sensible, right? Like they don't care about these issues. But when you go into the city, that's when you kind of start to see all this stuff. You start to see like the LGBT sidewalks,
just like everywhere else. Yeah. It's unfortunate that the city. I mean, I notice a lot of people are starting to move out of cities, even here, and kind of get land and move to the outskirts, as they would say. And I would love to do that, because I do see people are like, oh yeah, but you don't have hospitals and this near you, and it's like, yeah, but you know what? I don't have assholes living next to me either.
well, that's the thing, right? Like when you live out of the country, a lot of the places it's very community oriented. Mm-hmm. Like where I live at, right? Like if something happens to you, go over and ask your neighbor.
Right.
Your neighbor's going to help you no matter what, even if they don't like you. That's just how usually these communities are.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I don't know. It sounds like I said. It's not. It's a shame that you can't enjoy living in your home country. We're getting that here though. The only difference is I think there's enough pushback for now to kind of stave off some of this shit. But eventually, I see America changing. Mrs. Cannoli will be Mr. Cannoli eventually.
No, it'll just be X.
X.
You won't be allowed to have no genders at all.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, they keep adding letters to the LGBTQ plus G. I don't know what the fuck is going on. The whole alphabet's going to be in there eventually.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as everything else, that's the one thing I like about gaming, especially the games that I like, is that it is a great escape. I know some entertainment will do that for me, but it's sad that we have to keep going back to older shit. Which is thank God it's there. But like you said, whether it's music, movies, games.
No, but you can't. I'm sorry, you're misspeaking because now, Friends is now deemed as racist, right?
Oh, the show Friends is racist and sexist.
Because
didn't have enough black people or something.
You're not allowed to even enjoy old stuff because there's something wrong with everything now.
Yeah, and that's what these people do, right? They go and look at all these old things through a certain lens where they're looking for things to complain about, where they're looking for racism and all this stuff. And those people who do that, who like to see everything through race lenses, they're the real racists.
Yes. And have you ever, let me ask you something, because you definitely do have an accent. Do you get offended when you don't see people in movies and TV shows that speak like you?
Look like you or speak like you.
Well, look at me, right? Like, I'm a bigger dude, right? I'm not afraid to admit that. I weigh like 350 pounds, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I never once grew up with a fat superhero. I never grew up with the movie that the fat guy wins the girl at the end. Never.
And how do you feel about that? Are you upset now?
I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Just because someone doesn't look like me doesn't mean that I can't relate to them.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's exactly how I feel. I don't understand why. I've never watched something and said, you know what? Nobody in this movie sounds like me, looks like me. I can't relate to them. I actually just watch a movie or a TV show for what it is.
Yeah, just to enjoy it.
Who gives a shit?
I don't feel guilty for not listening. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just reading the comment. It's true, and the comment's true. They do want you to feel guilty, and you don't have to just stop getting on your megaphone or mic and screaming it out. Just let people.
What is wrong with these people? Why are when did this happen? When did people start having to see themselves represented in everything? Who gives a shit?
And then it's like he said that these are the people who don't even watch the shit that they're supposed to be represented.
Or they're the ones that thumb through Twitter for 15 years of people's posts and look to find that one and then get them canceled.
Yeah, well, the thing is too, I know with gaming at least, this all started with Anita Sarkeesian.
Mm-hmm.
That uber feminist that went ahead and was saying like everything in video game was sexist.
Yep.
And at least for gaming, that is where you can see where the downfall started to happen with people like her. Because these companies started to listen to her friends, and started to do all this stuff to video games that eventually led to...
Now look where we are. Now I thought video games would be the last piece of entertainment that would get into this shit. We're here. We're full on. It's going to get worse.
Well, you called it about a year or so ago. You just watch. Video games are next.
Well, you saw it. You saw it starting to happen, even with Far Cry, right? Far Cry, was it 6? It started to happen there a little bit, and then
Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2, which I refused to fucking play because the DLC at the end of the first game I didn't buy, but I knew what was happening.
Yeah,
and I'm like, so wait, what is R2 saying? Have you ever seen Only the Lonely with John Candy? Gamergeek, I have. No. Because John Candy's Canadian, he's got to watch every fucking movie that a Canadian.
Yeah, that's kind of racist there, man. Like,
it's fucking.
Is
it the spell check or is it the user of the spell check?
Well, he just fixed a toilet.
I know he's a good social media. Well, that's where his phone needs to go. Social media algorithms have put everything into echo chambers. That is, that's true. That's very true. It's an avatar thing. Self-insertion is a major part of a gameplay thinking. Yes, it is. University started that Mrs. C by going after Tolkien's English mythos creation of Middle Earth. Yeah, they wanted to go after Tolkien and Lord of the Rings and tear it apart. And then you get Rings of Power, which is a fucking shit show and garbage.
I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it.
I watched the first episode and I did not watch anything else. It was so fucking embarrassing.
Here you go. Apparently, he said you could relate to it. That's also mean. Should I?
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
I'll pick him off for you.
Leave the guy alone. Sorry, what were you saying, GamerGeek?
I was going to say I watched She-Hulk and I wanted to knock myself unconscious after watching that, so I can't picture I can't picture watching Rings of Power, and it's one of the reasons why I will not watch The Witcher on Netflix.
Oh, me and Vex have this talk because I love the game, right? And I know the books are fantastic. I did not like season 1 of The Witcher. Season 2 was garbage, and the race swapping, the gender swapping, the story. He basically was out of the movie. It was all these female empowerment. And they made the main. I was like, he's not even the main character in his own fucking story, and that's why Cavill left in the end because he's like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Well, I went ahead and I watched the one I didn't watch is Blood Origins. And I was like screaming at my screen the entire time. I'm like, oh my God, like really? Who was smoking crack? I got this passed off as a good idea.
Yeah, no, it was cheap looking. That's another thing too. The production's bad, the writing's bad, and they're passing it off as this great content and then knocking you if you don't like it. Yeah, they're extremely narcissistic.
That's exactly what the.
But she's right. Cloud Classic is right. They're children. They have the mentality of children. They don't know. They never left their parents' house, and when they did, finally, they were told everything's fine. Nothing is wrong. They can do no wrong. They're not punished. There's no consequences for these fucking people. That's the problem. And unfortunately, they're getting rewarded. It's the same with this movement with the women into men. It's like instead of saying, well, this is a mental issue, let's fix this. They're rewarding them and telling them it's okay and vindicating it and validating it, and it's embarrassing.
Well, that's one of the things that I always say, right? Like if you have someone who looks like Robin Williams, or who thinks they're Robin Williams, right? They dress like Robin Williams, talk like them. They 100% believe they are Robin Williams. Are you going to go ahead and say, yes, you are Robin Williams? Or are you going to turn ahead and say, no, look, you need help. We need to get this figured out. Yeah,
it's really sad.
And society has chosen to tell them that, hey, you know what? You're Robin Williams.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah, you're that person because you say you are. No, bullshit. Yep. No, Mrs. Cannoli is right though. Like just because I don't see myself in a movie or a TV role or listen.
I never thought that way. I don't understand when this.
There's not many large Italian men who are in fucking Marvel. I don't care. I have my own genre of movies. They make those movies. They're mob movies.
My daughter, she's 15 years old, and she's within all this bullshit. She never once goes, "Oh my God, Mom, I've never seen myself in anything." She doesn't look at that way. It's stupid. You don't. That's not what it's meant to be. We're not supposed. Here's the thing. A newsflash. You're supposed to watch TV, movies, and all this stuff to escape reality of who you are.
Escape reality.
If I wanted to see myself in something, I'd watch a fucking home movie. There you go.
Well, just wait until they start complaining about superheroes, about having all these powers.
Yeah.
No, because you're not like real life humans.
Nope.
Yes,
G&G was a legit guest. He rolled with the most deviant chat. He did great. He's a good dude, man. Definitely
a great person in the chat. He
always he's awesome. He likes to give shit. Well, that's the point. Like I like the people of this community because they give you shit, but they really care. It's just fun. That's the whole point, dude.
Aren't offended all the time. People who know how to take a joke.
Yes.
I mean, I'm so tired of you can't even joke with anybody anymore, and you have to tread lightly until you know that person, because God forbid you make fun of you for being Canadian or me calling me a guinea because I'm Italian. Oh no! And
then all of a sudden you got the cops at your door.
Yeah, and
because somebody's feelings hurt. Oh, I didn't hurt your feelings. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You remember that thing you said to that random person you passed by on the street?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're getting 15 years in jail.
Now you're going to jail for being. Let's see. People who only watch themselves in TV, film, or in games will never learn anything new. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, maybe
they don't want to grow up. They just want to.
Have you ever watched anything in a movie or TV show, and maybe it was a more serious, role, and you're like, God, that person really inspired me to be a better person, or to be this or be that.
Well, if you're normal, you could take things like that, those aspects from a movie or a character or show, and go, them. These people are just unhappy. That's just the bottom line.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I find too. I always say that my parents instilled in me a sort of morals, but then also video games did too.
Sure.
Right?
Why not?
Like never talking bad about a woman, or sensible women, I will say, like never harming them. Like that's one of the things I learned from my video games. That's one of the things I learned from my brothers and that, never giving up. Another thing I learned from my video games that came in handy with my depression and that, because I went through some tough times with that.
Sure.
But like,
well, there's the thing.
What's that game? I'm totally drawing a blank where you can actually get them as prostitutes and beat the shit out of them.
That's Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, that game really teaches you.
No, real quick
though. Yeah. I learned a lot from that game.
Yeah, we learned. There's a lot of life lessons in that. Rob money from the mafia and sleep with hookers in your car.
But you know what? People had something to say about that, and it was like, get the fuck over yourself.
It's a video game. This video game's violence bullshit. I grew up.
If you don't like it.
5-year-old Timmy coming home telling his mother that the hooker just gave him an STD.
Yeah. That's
That's
life experience, man. This kid's growing up.
Here's a testimony from a real woman. It doesn't bother us. We don't give a shit.
Well, before we go, I want to talk. So you made a video the other day about a game that's coming out, and I want to say, if I remember it, I think I even commented on it. I thought it was a parody video. It was about a game based off COVID. So, listen to this. Listen to this bullshit. Yeah. Talk about the game real quick.
So I actually went ahead and I seen an article by CBC, which I don't usually read, about this game when I was doing research for some videos. And the game is called Vaccine Quest, and it is about an indigenous person going on a quest to find a COVID-19 vaccine for their people.
Yeah, this is a fucking video game idea.
I just threw up in my mouth a little.
No, and I watched his video, and I said this has to be a parody. Like I was like, not his video, but the actual game. I was like, this has to be a parody. This isn't real.
And
He's like, no, it's real.
Yeah, this is legit. CBC reported on it. It is legit. They said it only took 5 weeks to develop, and you can tell it only took 5 weeks to develop.
It's trash. I saw it. It's trash. Propaganda.
Well, that's what it is. And who are they targeting with this? They're going to be targeting kids with it, right? And chances are they're not going to have the. I don't want to say too much, but they're not going to have all the information there.
They're going to leave some stuff out. Yeah, I got you.
For sure.
I agree. Cold Classic. That's exactly what I loved about the violence. And I remember when that game, there was it's still to this. Well, now even them though. Even what is it? Is it Rock? Wait, who makes Grand Theft? Is it Rocksteady or Rockstar? Rockstar. They went. Well, they're going woke with their next game too. They're So
they already did it with Grand Theft Auto 5. They said that they removed negative caricatures of the cross-dressers in the game.
Yeah.
You know what? I just thought of something. We're not portrayed very often, Italians, unless it's a mob movie. Well, we were portrayed in which Transformers was that? Where there were the two stupid Ginzo cars, and they were made to look really stupid.
No, they weren't Italian. They were supposed to be portrayed as.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like African American people, and the black community went nuts.
Like Italians.
No, they had like the gold teeth, and now that was Michael Bay just being a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
and I could see that character bothering people because it was pretty goddamn obvious on the nose. They had gold teeth, and they spoke in slang, and they were rapping, and I was like, what the fuck does this have to do with Transformers? Like,
there's certain times getting offended. It's okay, right? Like stuff like that.
Stuff like that when it's that obvious, yeah. But anyway, I digress.
Well, I hope everybody goes out and buys the COVID vaccine game. That sounds like
it's free.
It's free, of course.
Yeah, it's free.
Even better.
Paid for by your tax dollars. Enjoy.
CBC. Government funded, baby.
Government funded. Yeah, I like how. Yeah, speaking of that, so what was it? So CBC was claimed. Marked as a government. Government funded or a government. What was it again? For what did exactly Elon Musk do?
So he marked them as government funded at first.
That's why.
And they went ahead and they put up a big fuss about it. I guess saying that they were only like 30% government funded or something like that. So he changed their thing to 69% government funded.
Only 69%.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Elon Musk doesn't. That's one thing. I have some I have some issues with him and the whole Twitter thing still. The whole thing he did with Eliza Blue was a fucking mess.
Oh, yeah.
So I take everything he says with a little grain of salt. To me, it's a 50-50 thing with him. Like, I like when he goes, especially what he did with the reporter recently, where he just attacked him and said, "You're a liar." And
that video.
Giving out false information. But then he's like, sitting there going, well, you just kind of did the same thing with you were banning people for no fucking reason because it's somebody that you knew that you were sticking up for. So to me, Twitter is still, I don't know. I got rid of my blue check mark. I didn't fucking want to pay for it anymore. To me, it's just stupid.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I don't think. That's one thing I don't think I'll pay for.
COVID-69.
Oh my god.
Oh, I gotta find this game.
I gotta check it out.
I have Steam. I'm gonna check that out right after this stream. Thank you, Colt.
Here's a game I would play if he really made it. And if nobody knows, watch MMM on Mondays. She's at her old house.
Yeah, Vex has this thing where she does her things by a window. She's at a Airbnb right now because they're doing some stuff on her house. So she's always doing her shit by a window that's just dark and open. So I don't know what the fuck's coming in and out of that goddamn. Good point. But I'll watch that game too. And her cats try to kill her on every stream. It's fantastic. So I mean, this was a great fucking show. We hit the 2-hour mark, so I think we're good.
All right.
Awesome, dude. So definitely his information is in the description. His Twitter, his YouTube. Please subscribe to his channel. He is killing it lately. He puts out great content. His videos about Saints Row are fantastic. So I'm following that. So GamerGeek, what do you got coming up, man? Shout yourself out, dude.
What I got coming up there, in 2 weeks' time, I believe I will be on the Words of Paradise's podcast he's doing.
Awesome.
That there. I'm also adding reviews to my channel. We're going through the Saints Row series right now. Then I'm going to be going through Resident Evil and just all that stuff.
Awesome.
And if you want to see me at my full retardedness, you should follow me on Twitter.
Dude, he's funny on Twitter because that's where he gets into the good stuff, like what's going on in the culture, and definitely check him out there. This is Cannoli Sasquatch. You have anything to shout out?
Why would I shout out anything? You're the boss of me.
Well, no. I think
we all know you beat him.
Yeah, easily.
Don't try to hide it.
It's gonna happen.
Well, I guess the way this new schedule works, we're not on next Friday, but we will be in Vegas for the Geeks and Gamers meetup.
Friday night tights, yeah.
Follow us for some impromptu stuff next week. Anywhere from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we might just be popping on and doing random live streams. So watch on the Twitter and for some updates on that. And then I guess the first Friday in May is May 5th.
May 2nd.
Okay.
5th. I'm stupid. It's May 5th. Sorry.
I only know that because I have another hearing aid appointment. I do. I have hearing aids. Anyway, so on May 5th will be the next episode of Truly the Female Perspective with Vex, Shiro, and Filipino Meatball. Right here on this channel. I'm pretty sure there'll be so much crap to talk about. So much so that I might be having to do a show on our off weeks from Cannoli Connection, because if it just gets out of hand, I might need to be more vocal and get some people listening to the situation.
Do you give these women a month to get
it's a lot. Our chats are we forget. Our chats are filled.
That is a fun time. But for me, Mischief Mayhem Movie, the Monday movie show this week. What is Monday's date, actually? That is the 24th. We are doing True Lies, Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I don't know if you've seen that, GamerGeek. You should watch it. It's a good one.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
It's a good action comedy. So I think so we'll be doing that.
And they'll be really
Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, Tom
and there'll
Arnold.
be a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions.
A lot of bad impersonations. Yeah.
Bad.
And then for me, we have Vegas, of course, and then Truly a Female Perspective is on the 5th. I will be back with the Mrs. Cannoli on the 19th of May with Hypnotic as our guest. Hypnotic's a big YouTuber. He's killing it. So I'm looking forward to that.
He's not Canadian.
He's not Canadian, but it's okay.
No, it's not. He's got to be Canadian.
He's got to be. That's the new. Apparently, I just attract Canadians. What the fuck? But thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys absolutely crushed it tonight. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the new people coming in. I got a few new subs, and I'm hoping GamerGeek got a few out of this. Definitely check his stuff out, and that's it. So thank you again, and we will see you next time.